everybody, and thank you for joining us once again here on Poda's channel. We are, of course, sitting here with Ryan, and we want to dive into some of the more recent, exciting updates. But first off, Ryan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. Thanks for having me. Always good to be here, and yeah, excited to go over some of the developments that we've had lately.
Awesome. So let's kick it off first by talking about your chief medical officer commencing clinical trials. So what's going on here? What are these trials, and what's the timeline on this?
Yeah, so essentially, this is something that as I mentioned, I'm very passionate about the potential for Poda's products to both deliver a very effective smoking cessation tool, as well as to deliver a potentially very viable method for the inhalation of therapeutic molecules. And so bringing Dr. Gupta on as our chief medical officer really was something that I think opens the door for many different avenues of product development in the medical as well as the smoking cessation space. So one of the first orders of business for him is to set up our clinical pilot studies designed to test the basic efficacy of Poda's products as smoking cessation tools, and really to develop and lay out the path for the large-scale clinical trials, which we will do before rolling out any sort of large-scale smoking cessation program. And so this early trial is basically designed to lay out the groundwork that's going to be required for the clinical trials to get some scientific basis for the efficacy of Poda's products. I think our step down nicotine system holds a lot of promise in the tobacco cessation world. I think because the Poda system is able to deliver many of the same sensory experiences as traditional smoking, like the oral fixation, the flavor, the smell, the ritual experience, while simultaneously tailoring and tapering down the nicotine level over time. I think that can really serve as a fantastic product for helping people to quit smoking. As I've said before, I think the best choice for any current smoker is to quit smoking right now. For people unable to do that, Poda aims to offer a fully satisfactory and exceptional smoking alternative product that delivers the same level of satisfaction they're accustomed to with traditional combustible smoking, but with potentially a dramatic reduction in the risks associated with combustible smoking. But we also want to have tools for people to effectively quit smoking. And that's where I think our system offers some real advantages and unique selling points that may provide what could be the most effective smoking cessation program ever created. And then additionally, with our closed-ended pod, it opens the door for a whole host of other medical molecules which can be consumed through inhalation. And I think that's something that I'm very excited about, the future of the potential for Poda to deliver a whole host of different substances all through the same device. With our closed-ended pod, there's no cross-contamination, and we're able to deliver an extremely consistent and reliable dosing experience at a cost point that is very unheard of in the medical world. And so I think there's a huge amount of potential for us in that space. That's why we brought on as Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Gupta. And that's why we're now commencing the first trials, which will be the first of many trials as we move forward. As you can imagine, moving into the medical space takes a long time. And so, we didn't want to waste any time. We're getting going on it right away with the hope initially, hopefully being able to bring out a smoking cessation product, and then moving into different potentially viable therapeutic options in the medical space. So exciting times on that front for sure.
Yeah, very well said. I mean, this isn't a very important milestone for you guys as you're now kicking this off. I mean, the smoking cessation side of it is exciting. I'm curious to see what happens there. But what's really interesting is all the other potential applications in it. I'm curious to see where that goes. And guys, we will keep you all updated on it as it comes along. But Ryan, that isn't the only thing you guys have going on lately. You guys also just announced a supply agreement with a biodegradable filter manufacturer. Now, you've been sticking to the biodegradable idea for a while. So tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so this is actually a very exciting development for us. We've spent the last 6 years developing what I believe is the best heat not burn product ever made. We make our pods out of an entirely biodegradable plant cellulose material, and the pod itself is completely biodegradable. However, the filter component of the pod is something that we've been working on developing our own biodegradable system, but it's a lot easier said than done. Traditional cigarette filters are made from a material called cellulose acetate, which basically is an extremely well-performing filter system, but unfortunately never truly biodegrades. It does biodisperse after about 7 to 15 years in the natural environment, but it really only breaks down into microplastics, which then get dispersed throughout the ecosystem. And that's something that personally, I'm very passionate about not putting more trash into the environment. And I want to sell hundreds of billions of our product. And so developing a biodegradable filter solution for our product is something of utmost importance to us. Now, this company called Green Butts has spent the last 10 years working exclusively on this problem. And they have developed what I think is the best biodegradable option in the filter space that I've ever seen. Their filter performs exceptionally well in the Poda product, and it really allows us to move forward with a 100% biodegradable product at a cost point and a user experience that is on par with using a cellulose acetate filter. And that's something that I think is a very big deal for us as we continue to roll out our product, to be able to have a truly fully biodegradable heat not burn cigarette. It's something that is unique in the world, and we are the first and only truly biodegradable heat not burn cigarette. And so securing a supply agreement with Green Butts really allows us to move forward at scale with a fantastic filter option that performs every bit as well as a cellulose acetate filter. And so that's, from a business point of view, I think it gives us a huge key to success as we continue to roll out our product. And from a personal point of view, it really helps to deliver on the mission of creating a sustainable and long-term solution for one of the major litter problems in the world, which is traditional cigarette filters in cigarette butts. So
yeah. I mean, I agreed. Working with Green Butts, really, it completely aligns with your guys' current vision and your guys' current mission. So congratulations on that deal. And is there anything else you want to offer people? Any last words before we go?
Well, I would also add that we just recently received our DTC eligibility in the US, which opens up a whole host of investment opportunities for a large number of investors across the United States. And so having that DTC eligibility is something that we're very excited about. We worked extremely hard to obtain that, and our team really pulled together to get that DTC eligibility. And that now opens the door for us to have a much wider retail audience of investors who can potentially buy and sell Poda shares. And so I think that's another big milestone for us. As I've said before, our goal is to uplist all the way to the NASDAQ and to be considered one of the major players in the heat not burn smoking space. And so having DTC eligibility is just another important step on the path to that eventual uplisting future. So I'm very excited that is now another tool in our quiver, and it gives us continued opportunities to expand our base. So exciting times on that front as well.
Wonderful. Well, Ryan, you guys are firing all cylinders. You're doing great at the helm there, man. So congratulations. And everybody, thank you so much for watching. You got any questions for anybody? Let us know. We'll happily dive into them. But until then, stay tuned. And I promise we'll get you some more news over the wire as soon as it comes in. Ryan, thank you for your time today.
Thanks for having me. Take care. Speak soon.